Cool world. We back with another one. I got a special guest, my guy, my boy, Young Soul. Welcome to the podcast,
Yes,
man.
sir. Good to lock in with you, bro.
Appreciate you joining us, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
For all the people who want to, tap into and know who Young Soul is, what can you tell the people?
Young Soul is nothing more than that, just a young soul. I'm making music out of the South Memphis community, the Soulsville. Music is everything I live and breathe, and I feel like God just put me here, just to speak for people from where I come from that look like me, that went through the same stuff as me, and let their stories be told. So that's what my origin story is.
For sure. So for people who don't know, he is a musician. He got other talents, but for anybody who want to get tapped into his music, so what can they find you with?
So you can find me everywhere, Young Soul, YOUNGSOUL. You follow the tag right here. Click the links. My music is everywhere. Apple Music, Spotify, YouTube, wherever you want to play your shit at. I'm
For
there.
sure. So cool world, y'all got to tap in. But
Most
let's
definitely.
let's take them back though. Let's bring it back.
For sure.
What was Young Soul like as a kid in South Memphis?
Man, I was just like real, I was real studious. Like I
Mm-hmm.
love to read, which birthed my love to write, which is where music ultimately came from. Originally, I wanted to be like an author and like work on film and stuff like that. And I have delved into those things as I got older. And I'm working on a film right now, currently like based on my life and my upbringing, called
That's crazy.
Something on South Parkway. I actually have a out. My first project ever was named Something on South Parkway. Like that's
Going
my
back to
stretch
your
of the
roots.
hood. Yeah, going back to my roots for real, for real. So like as a kid, like I said, I just love to read. I was like just watched a lot of shit like Discovery Channel, like World History. So I was like always very intelligent, bro. Like very aware of the world, observing. Just like real carefree,
Mm-hmm.
like growing up in South Memphis, bro. You outside riding your bikes. That's when kids are still outside riding your bikes, swimming, playing basketball, bro.
For
Just
sure.
picking up on stuff in the hood, bro. And like, but also becoming aware that the world is like a real place. You feel me? Like where it ain't always like sweet, for real, bro.
Yeah. So when did your love for music and being creative come growing up in the
Uh,
city? And who was some of your biggest influence in the city?
I mean, I grew up in church, so I was listening to music like 4 or 5 times a week naturally.
Mm-hmm.
I think I started writing maybe for real when I was 14, 15. Like I said, I just wanted a way to express what was going on in my mind, and I had fell in love with like Wayne was probably like my earliest, real influence. Like everybody loved Wayne.
For sure.
Wayne, Tupac. Like when I started actually studying music and the kind of music I wanted to make, obviously I took after artists like Drake just because of how conversational he is, and
Mm-hmm.
how introspective he is with the music. Also Kendrick from that same introspective place. Like I felt like we had a lot of things in common, such as like like the good kid, Mad City thing. Like you the innocent kid, like you growing up next to the guys who might be doing these things
Mm-hmm.
or having these experiences in the hood, but you just got enough distance from it, like I said, to observe and be able to interpret it and put it into the music. So like that was where I was like with like Kendrick and Drake and like people like J. Cole, like any of those artists that you like people might call conscious artists, but who really you just a thinker for real,
Mm-hmm.
for real. But obviously, being from the hood, like you say, you know people like Tupac, Wayne, Future,
For
Meek,
sure.
Meek Mill, just like his rags to riches story, like his origin. Like I feel like I could relate to that heavily. So I think that would be like my earliest influences. Like even going back and listening to my old music now, I think you can hear that like some of them rappers was my favorite at the time.
Okay. Being from South Memphis, was it something that you wish you would have learned, like growing up, that you know now that you could tell yourself back?
Not for real, because South Memphis taught me everything I know in order to be able to go out into the world and survive. I don't think I even become who I am or get my start in music if I didn't learn the resilience
I
and the
respect that.
resourcefulness that I learned like in South Memphis for real, for real. It's like I didn't have to like I said, you learn early on, like life is real, like it's consequences to your actions, life ain't fair, innocent people like you learning all this in here, innocent people get harmed, all these type of things. But I think naturally I just gravitated towards like people that I saw make it out, and I
Mm-hmm.
saw start seeing myself in them and like knowing that there was a possibility for real.
Yeah. So growing up in South Memphis, and when it was time to make that jump from being a boy to a man and finding out you want to, go off and drift off, was
Yeah.
it anything else you wanted to do besides go to school? Was it another route you was gonna take before you?
Not, now school was always gonna be the thing because I was the smartest, person in my school, my class,
Mm-hmm.
since kindergarten for real, for real. So I was in advanced class even then, like I wasn't taking like regular stuff. So I always knew like my mind was gonna be my way out, but it was just about how I wanted to use it. Like I didn't think it was gonna be music at first. Like I said, I wanted to be an author, film writer, politician, community activist, like all of these things that I felt like I had,
Mm-hmm.
strengths in and like connects to or like real passion for like outreach and shit like that, or like working with kids in some capacity. So yeah, I always knew college was gonna be the way out, but I didn't think music would become as prominent. Like you had dreams as a kid, but when I went out to school initially, I was like, bro, I'm going to school like for the books. And then when I got up
Hmm.
there, music just became uh easier and like and better avenue for me to spread my wings and like get people to know me and like shit, find my purpose.
Okay, so in college, that's when you really like honed in on your craft and like saying, I'm gonna do music
I
or what?
mean, I had started spending a lot of time in the studio around like when I was 16, maybe. Like I had a homeboy who was playing AU basketball, and his coach at the time like was had said, hey, you know, if any of y'all homeboys need a space to record, like they can come through. I'll rock with them for free if they
Okay,
talented. So man, this guy like he invested a lot of time. Like he would come pick me up from school from the hood. Like he's a white guy at that. Like he invested like a lot of time in me. Brought me to the studio, fed me. Like he took me in
that's
like a
crazy.
son or like a little brother, like in a sense, and you know, and really helped me like sharpen myself. I was kind of like a Kendrick or a Nas coming out like when I first started writing. I just wanted to rap and give a nigga 100 bars. Once I
Hmm.
figured out I was good at it, and he was the one that told me like, nah, you got to learn songwriting. So we spent a lot of hours in there like just crafting and
Being
like
intentional.
putting that time in. But like I said, it wasn't a lot of resources as far as like really promoting your music and music in Memphis around that time for real, for real. So I wasn't really taking it serious until I went to MTSU. Like I said, and I started performing on campus and start meeting connections and eventually learn how to do shows and shit.
Okay, so MTSU, my guy Soul was doing shows and doing music.
Yeah.
Who were some of the people that you feel like you met on campus that helped you kind of like get your some confidence, or people you was
Uh,
cool with is like y'all just went at it when it came to music?
my homie James English, he really taught me, the business of like just booking yourself as an artist, which became instrumental in like me spreading my wings and getting booked in other places and booking my own tours, like such as like the one I'm on right now. My homeboy Malik Anderson, like he was like the brainchild that sat with me and really helped me grow my brand and plan out my, a lot of my tours and like my artistry and like where I wanted to be and the points where I felt like I could grow. I had a collective of homeboys like my homeboy Ty, which was like my best friend that I went out to MTSU with, Cam, Christian, like my homeboy CeeLou, my homeboy Gnarly. It's
You
a
shouting
lot,
all
yeah.
y'all out,
But I
man.
say, yeah, a lot of people that I locked in, like on a musical side, and like just really sharpen myself. Like I'm in the studio hours and hours and hours. I probably got like 30, 40 songs with all of these individuals, like to where we
Crazy.
was just challenging each other, grow, like become better artists. So like folks like that. Like I hope I ain't really missing nobody, but them was like the most influential people when it came to like me locking in as an artist and growing on all sides, as far as like not just the music, but like the business and the branding and just like my presentation, performance and stuff like that. Also, like Tay Keith, like I met, like we went to high school together. So when we got out there, it was like same thing, picking up where we left out, basically, like
Hmm.
locking in with him and seeing him hustle, like, and us just like observing each other from afar and communicating, like whenever we ran into each other, sharing gems, sharing information, and him pulling strings for me behind the scenes and doing certain things to help further my career. Like I definitely got to give him his props as well.
For sure, man. Rest in peace to Take Eve also,
For sure,
man.
for sure,
You
for
know,
sure.
post college, what
Okay.
was something Young Soul was doing? Like,
Uh, touring.
okay,
I also had a daughter around that time too, so really locking in the fatherhood and being on the road, bro. Trying to capitalize off the touring that I had been doing for the past 3, 4 years. I also had went viral on social media like Twitter, Instagram a couple of times for my music and stuff. So really building out that, and that's really all I've been doing since then. Obviously, like I said, I tapped into like
locked in with
writing,
music.
as far as like working on my first film, and then like I said, acting like with you guys, like on the
Hmm.
set of Bloodbound. But like I said, it's been mostly music, bro, and I'm grateful for that. I've also done like community work for like around South Memphis and Soulsville with like some of the nonprofits over there.
Okay,
Like yeah, just really like giving back for real, for real. Like I feel like that's what I'm here for more than anything, to take what I've learned and like bring it back just like to a newer generation of Soulsville kids and just pass that out, or like even do what I can just to make the neighborhood look better and seem better and like get that like notoriety and respect that I feel like it deserves.
and that
So.
good energy that everybody needs too, man.
Yeah,
For
bro,
sure,
yeah, most definitely, bro. I try to pour back into anybody that's ever done anything, for me, whether that's a community, a group, a person.
for sure,
Yeah,
man. And that's something cool we're gonna respect anyway. He's definitely a good dude. You know, I met him on the set of Bloodbound series.
yeah.
I got Marco Pave put it together.
Should I
You
mark
know, we
on?
still waiting on it to come out. But it's a beautiful thing. We got to meet some legends of the city.
Yeah,
Him being, one of them, definitely one of them. The next up, you got Kia Shine, A Ball,
yeah.
a legendary group in the city. So it's big things in the city. It's great people in the city, just like so, and we're trying to do good things for the city. So that's what it is. But
Seriously.
I heard you say you became a parent,
Yeah,
around that time.
yeah.
What's something that changed you before you were a parent, or how you was before a parent versus being the parent now?
I think just being like more intentional with my time. I
Mm-hmm.
don't think it didn't really take much from like my creative life because studio is like after hours when she sleep anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So like I was able to lock in and be a dad and like really pour into her and make sure I was like giving her the time and attention and the love that she needed, like as I'm supposed to be. And then like I still can go to the studio and record. So nothing really changed, bro. Obviously, like you adjust your schedule as far as like traveling and things. Like
Yeah.
so, I tend it'll be times of this year where I tour, and it's times where I make sure I'm at home so I can make it to her school events like
Okay.
dances,
Respect.
recital. Look at any events, first day programs,
Mm-hmm.
like honors programs, all this type of stuff. I make sure I'm there for her because that's my number one priority. So if anything, that's what changed. Like her coming first and the music coming second. But it's like I don't really have to choose because, like I said, like life as a dad is mostly during the daylight hours where she, awake and moving around. And when
Mm-hmm.
she sleep, I can go to the studio or go perform, and I'm not missing a beat. And
Very
shit,
intentional.
yeah. And sometimes like she nocturnal like me, so it be time where I go to the studio and I come home and she's still up, so I'll call her. We'll still talk then,
Hmm.
like especially like in the summertime when she's not in school. So,
Okay. Is it anything you think that she got the bug to get into the creative space right now based on what you know?
yeah, I mean, she gravitated to music on her own. I mean, her mother used to play the piano though as
Okay.
well, and she's a singer. So, but like we didn't ever push that on her. So it ain't like we encourage or like we ain't like we playing the music around her. Like she just naturally gravitated towards like wanting to like make beats for real, like
Mm-hmm.
and sing and like dance and stuff. So she just she liked being comfortable in that space and just expressing herself that way. So and she also she said she wanted to be a dancer. So it's like it depends on however she want to go, bro. I don't
Mm-hmm.
really push anything on her. I'm interested in seeing what she naturally gravitate to and then supporting it so that she'll know that okay, my parents are behind whatever I want to do, not just the things that they want me to do. I think that's the most important thing. So we never forced music on her, but she has shown like her inclinations to like want to delve in that too. So obviously it
Okay.
make me happy as a father that you naturally gravitate to. But even if she didn't and she never picked it up, then it wouldn't bother me. If she was a scholar, a zoologist, a geologist, it don't matter what she chose to be.
Just there to support her.
Yeah, I'd be her number one
For
fan.
sure, man. For
Yeah,
sure. And it's how it should be.
yeah.
What's some things that people may not know about you that you actually like to do behind the scenes versus just being doing music?
I mean, like it's obviously still in the entertainment sector. Like I
Mm-hmm.
said, writing for real, or like just mentoring people, bro. Or like I said, like the community service work that I do, like just going back and telling kids, like, hey, I'm from the same neighborhoods you came from. I achieved this. I met these people. I was able to do this and go here and spread my wings and grow like this over here and meet
Yeah.
thousands of people who like and support me and just let them know that it's possible coming from where we come from. A lot of times the circumstances and our surroundings might push you in another way. It's very easy like to get
For sure.
swayed, So just reminding kids like, hey, bro, if you brilliant, I always believe in yourself and whatever you want to do, whether you want to be a fireman or a scientist, just believe in yourself and it's possible. So I think giving back, for like, I'm trying to find the right word for it without messing it up, but yeah, just
Nah, we
being
we
like
we here.
being real community oriented, bro. Like I said, just making sure that the place where I come from, because I have a lot of pride in South Memphis, bro. So just making sure that like we respect it and like care for like from the kids to the elders, like just giving back.
Yeah, and I'm actually from South Memphis, so I'm from Riverside. That's where I grew up at. So
Yeah,
it's
you
crazy.
right down the street, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so I understand, the poverty issues over there, and it's getting to my next question. Do you think it is a big wealth gap in America when it comes to, us being, African American versus other races? And do
I,
you think, or do you see it changing in the future?
yeah, I think more than anything that the internet has given black people the ability to like unionize and like mobilize and come together and fix things that we see wrong in our communities. Obviously you would love to see people be more active, but it also comes down to like these supporting grassroots movements,
For
like the
sure.
small people who really know what's going on in the community and where the money is needed for instead of just like throwing cash towards stuff and like
Yeah.
saying I gave 10 million to this, oh they should be able to solve the problem. Or just like more activism on everybody's part between the people who had the money and the people on the roof, on the ground. Just people coming together, collaborating. But I think like places like Memphis is really just about bringing more stuff. So like we
Yeah.
always get talked about as being like one of the poorest counties in
Hmm.
America and shit. So the fact that like the mayor or like just people over Memphis in general trying to bring more stuff to downtown and encourage development and growth and commerce and real estate, like things like that, helps urban cities like put more black people like in jobs and training and all this type of stuff. But it's a very complex question, as far as like shortening that for real. That's
Hmm.
not like that ain't even something that like will change in our lifetimes. It become
For
like
sure.
it will have to become a systematic and
generations.
yeah, generational thing, so where everybody is agree to be on one accord, you know, which would take like I said, a lot of unionizing and mobilizing, and you know the way life is set up, like at least in America for real, it's not set up to support you know them kind of movements. It would just have to be like a conscious decision by them people to want to do that. But I do think that it is possible for real, for real. Like I wouldn't say that it's not. You know, black people have always proven to be able to overcome and like whenever we are dedicated to a cause, you know, we can really like get some stuff done.
For
So
sure, for sure. So if you were in charge of and had the power to make one change in America, you, based on what you're seeing, traveling, going to college, seeing things, being a
yeah,
father, what would you change in America?
uh, like I mean, obviously I'm gonna be a little biased on this, but I would just like make you know reparations for real, for like give black people
For
like
sure.
you know and they descended you know slave descendants like what they you know properly owed in terms of like you know money because they would change a lot of things like a lot of the crime and problems that we have in America only exist because it is not enough disbursement of the wealth that's going around.
That's true.
It is a lot of it here. You know we see people live lavish lives all the time, especially on social media. You got unfiltered access, but yeah, just giving black people reparations because I think across the board it would just make it you know like when you put black people or like black kids in good schools, you get inventions. Like you get people that excel in whatever they choose to do. So I think when you level the playing field for like people like us in
And that's
terms of
what we
like
need.
wealth, then you America as a whole would be better because like I said, it's just more innovation that will come about. And black people, we love to share our innovation and our culture. So it would be a thing that would benefit not only like us but America and the world as a whole. Just giving
That's
black
true.
people a better economic stand, basically, because like I said, a lot of the violence and the crime that you see in inner city and urban communities just wouldn't exist, and it would be more, you know, flourishment, you know, like more growth.
I agree. I agree. And I'm pretty sure Cool will agree with that. On a lighter note, I'm gonna change it up for you. If you had one superpower, what would you have?
Uh, being invisible,
Invisible.
yeah,
Okay.
because you can do everything while you're invisible, everything free basically.
That's true. That's true.
You can rob a bank, nobody ever see you. You know, you can get on the plane, nobody ever see you. Get on the boat, nobody
Hmm.
ever see you. You know, like yeah, and you can go out to a club, enjoy yourself, nobody will see you.
Exactly.
Like yeah, I think you use that for a lot.
Cool world. What would be your superpower? Y'all leave it in the comments.
Yeah,
Okay, we're gonna play this or that. Okay. Black Queen or mixed breed?
black.
Black Queen.
You didn't have to finish the question. You didn't have to. So you said black.
It was it.
Yeah, it
Okay, okay. Would you rather be have your light bill paid for a year, or your car note paid for 6 months?
hey, that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we'll take the car. You feel me? Like that's some thousands that could be put
Mm-hmm.
towards something else. That ain't nothing but a couple hundred, maybe 1,000. So you know, depending on what your life situation look like. But yeah, I'm gonna take that car. Some money you can put somewhere else.
Okay, okay. What's one food that you would eat for a whole year?
Probably like lasagna, some any form of like pasta, something like
Okay.
that, or pizza. One or two.
Peace. Music or movies?
Music.
All day.
Yeah, I just think you got because of the conciseness of music. Like if you actually make a great song, you able to achieve something good that it might take somebody 3 hours to do with a film. Now they equally powerful, but I think being able to make somebody cry in 3 minutes is exponentially more powerful than being able to make somebody cry in 3 hours.
That's true. That's true. Okay, and I agree with it. I agree with it. Music too. If you're stranded on an island, you can only have one thing and one person. What would that one thing be, and who would that one person
My daughter and a phone.
be? To get out the island?
Yeah, I'm finna call somebody.
This man crazy,
They go
man.
be
Okay,
somebody go or like really just for the flashlight. Like 'cause if we stranded or like or if I'm on the island or and I need something, like I said, if obviously you got a phone, you probably not stranded, but
mm-hmm,
depending on how far out you is, like I would want to just be stuck. I don't care to see nobody else. So I want to
mm-hmm.
be with my daughter, but I'm gonna have that flashlight so I can wave somebody down at night if they flying over. Somebody
SOS for
can be
sure.
like, yeah, like if I'm SOS or like if I like during the daytime, I'm just gonna wait to like try to catch a little signal. I can still use the light flashing off this to like
Mm-hmm.
flag somebody down if I need to, or if I actually got service by some miracle, I can call, like I said, call them. Hey, can you deliver this or can you get this or like that?
Okay. If you had all the money in the world, what would you do with it?
I buy the pyramid and turn it into like just a free center for everything, free healthcare, free library, free whatever you wanted to come study and like train in, like it just make it free to like, especially to like
Respect.
minorities, you know, like for black people, I would like turn it into something like that. I would like Bass Pro wouldn't be Bass Pro, it would be like just an outreach center for everything, like where people could just go get free healthcare, like I said, like healthcare, education, school,
Hmm.
lawyers, whatever you want to study. Well, I just make it a big ass center for that, for
Okay.
a lot of stuff.
Do you have a dream project that you want to accomplish that you can see yourself doing?
Uh, yeah, like winning maybe like an award winning film, like an award winning album, like maybe both of those.
And it's coming.
I know awards come down to like human bias and voting, but
Hmm.
you know, like some trophies do have some intelligence, you know, and
Significance.
significance to
Hmm.
them, bro. You know, so you know, prestige. So like anything like if I won a Pulitzer off the music, or like a Grammy, obviously, or like
Yeah.
a Oscar or something like that, just for like my writing and stuff. I would think that that's cool because I would have been able to get to the point where, regardless of me winning the award, even being nominated would mean that I made it to a point where a lot of millions of people like know my work and like love it. You feel me?
Hmm.
To the point where somebody else would even consider giving it an award. So actually winning it would just be just a confirmation on top of that, you know.
Okay. Do you have any dream collabs? If you could work with anybody, who would you want to work with?
Obviously all the legends like you know from our like the musical space that you know I would love to work with like any of my favorites Drake, Jay-Z, uh, Wayne, shit, J. Cole,
Hmm.
Kendrick, you know, Nas, obviously like he, you know he the go to me
No,
for
no
real.
misses.
You know like legends from I say like A-Ball, MJG. I wish I would have got to work with Dolph,
For
working with
sure.
Glock. I got to work with Tay Keith on my first project, and we collaborated on something else at a later time. Um, Make sure I ain't missing nobody. Like on this side anyway. And then like I said, just doing stuff like you know with acting and stuff, collabing with people on this side. I would love to work with. It probably wouldn't happen, but like working with Denzel Washington on
Hmm.
just a miracle film, you know, something like that. I wish I'd have got to work with like Chadwick Boseman while he was alive. Jamie Foxx,
Jamie, one of the ones.
yeah, like especially like far as like acting. Law Abiding Citizen, one of my
Law Abiding
favorite
Citizen,
movies
great
ever.
movie.
So yeah, it's just like people like that, bro, that I just grew up being influenced by and being fans of for real, for real. Like I would love to work with Martin Lawrence, like somebody like that, and Will Smith, like on the
Hmm.
comedy. But yeah, yeah. So you saw on both of them sides of the coin.
So speaking about, you said Will Smith and Marlon Lawrence. What would be, or what is your favorite film out of all movies?
Man, if you put me on the spot, probably like Gladiator.
Okay,
Gladiator with like
Russell Crowe.
yeah, with just that whole story in itself. And you know, I think you know Denzel in the two Gladiator
Hmm.
two.
Good
Uh,
film.
so I think like Gladiator might be off the top, but I think from a series standpoint, I would say Harry Potter though. Like I love Harry Potter.
Harry
Like
Potter, great,
yeah,
great.
that's me. Sorry, if it's one movie, that. But if it's like a collection, it's Harry Potter. Like hands down. Like I read all those books 100 times. So seeing the films being brought to life for me as a kid was just always special.
So out of the Harry Potter movies, which one you think your favorite one? Cause I
Probably
know
like
mine.
the fourth Goblet of Fire. For real, for real.
It's my
Yeah,
see, bro. I
yeah,
knew, I
yeah.
knew.
That's the most action in that joint. Like the whole, and also the series as a whole take a shift
Exactly.
in that movie. If you a fan, and you know, like it go from just being like this innocent little film where like kids, it's you know, like
Yeah,
just doing stuff at a school to where it's like, all
it
right,
got real.
it's real shit going on. So yeah.
Hmm. It got
Yeah, I
real.
think the writing in that jump was like crazy. It was just so much shit going on between the Quidditch World Cup, the Triwizard Tournament, then ultimately, you know, like what happened at the end. But yeah,
Yeah,
Harry Potter,
cool
yeah, that
world.
jump.
He tapped in, man. He tapped
Yeah,
in, so you know.
yeah, bro. You know, Gryffindor all the way
Okay, before we get out of here,
for sure.
let the people know where they can find everything Young Soul at.
It's on all streaming. You know, wherever you listen to music, you can find it. Young Soul, as you see it on the tag, YOUNGSOUL. You find me in it, same as Twitter, Instagram, same handles. Yeah, you can find me around. I'll be outside for it, for real. Also, I'm on tour right now. So if y'all go to my page, y'all see the flyer posted and like some of the content. But yeah, we definitely moving around. And like I said, I'll be dropping an
Sure.
album on September the 1st. So make sure y'all tune in to it when it come out.
Now, on one day,
Yes, sir.
and
Yes, sir.
could you leave?
National holiday.
Could you leave any inspiration for the kids coming up who may feel like they've been, overlooked or
Uh,
looked
I mean,
over?
yep. You are the star in your own world, and your reality will be what you created. So and a lot of things change over time. So the people and things that you might be chasing now might not be the same in 5 years. So don't ever limit yourself or ever feel like the things that you want are incapable because you see people surpassing you. You know, everybody got their own time, everybody got their own path. As long as you lay one brick every day, you can build whatever you're trying to build. But you also got to tell yourself that you can lay more than one brick a day. So
Yes, sir.
if you building a house, it's gonna get built, but how quick it get built and the quality of that build is always gonna be up to you. And as long as you happy with it, then that's the only thing that matters. It don't matter if you want to be a florist, a phlebotomist, a author, an
Hmm.
artist, a lawyer. You know, just take your own pace and your own path, and you can do whatever you want to do as long as you really dedicate yourself to it. Like that is true for real, for real. Like you can pray, but you gotta meet God halfway.
Yeah, I respect that. You can pray, but you got to meet God halfway. Put the work in. Cool
For
word. This
sure.
is what we doing. Thank you for showing up on the platform. Cool
Yes,
world.
sir.
I need y'all to tap in with my boy Young Soul, man. It's a good dude right here,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Appreciate
I'm
you.
gonna see y'all soon, man.
Cool world. One.
Deuces.